Well, hello everyone. It's Charles here from Charles End Photography. It's 9:45 on Monday the 12th of December, and we have got gale force winds here and a huge king tide at the Woody Point Jetty. We're just going to go for a bit of a walk. Now the tide here was high at about 9:10 at 2.6 meters. Out here, because I actually want to take some photos after of this storm surge, I just wanted to show you what it was like here before I actually take some photos. We rarely see tides this high. It's just immense. Whoa. I'm actually going to back out here a little bit and turn around. Here we go. Now this is the way the wind's coming from, and the waves are crashing, and the spray is jumping at least 10-15 meters across here. I am sorry if there's a lot of wind howl, but you know, this is just incredible. I'll actually go into the jetty and just find a little hidey spot. There we go. Now I'm actually a bit sheltered here, so you guys got a very good idea. Look at that spray. I'm actually going to come back here. Whoa! I just got... So the waves are crashing all the way across the jetty here. Whoa! Now this ain't for the faint-hearted, believe me. But I'm not going to risk my camera. I've actually got some plastic bags. So I'll actually put a plastic bag over the whole camera and just have the lens front open. I'll probably have to wipe it down a bit, but this should look really nice on video. So it looks nice on video, but I'm really hoping to get a couple of really nice shots of the waves just crashing down over the jetty here. Can you hear the wind? Whoa, it's just howling. You can probably see, like, the wind is just howling here. The water, like I'm on the lee side of the jetty here, the waves are just crashing over the jetty over here. It's just incredible. Like, the wind is howling, but like, it's so good to see this sort of stormy weather. We don't get often the chance of actually photographing this sort of stuff, so I'm really hoping to get a couple of just like stormy weather with the waves crashing over the jetty. Now, I don't know if I'll actually put the phone on top of my camera so I can keep talking, but what I intend to do today is, all I'm going to put maybe is a polarizer, just to sort of control the light from the sky a little bit, but I'll be shooting a very fast shutter speed because I actually want some of the spray just to look frozen in time. So like at least 1/320th of a second, something like that. And then I'll try to really slow the shutter speed down to actually get some movement in the spray so it looks like it's actually moving. So let's go back to the car, grab my camera and take some photos. Hey, now I'm tucked in a little bit behind these buildings. Holy macaronis. So now the wind's a little bit lower because we've actually got the high-rise buildings behind us here, so this is my gear for today. My Nikon D500, the Tokina 11-20. I've also got my Nikon 18-140 here, and over here plastic bags, and I'll put them on top of the camera if I feel that the spray is getting so strong. Well, it's about 11:15. I'm at Woody Point Jetty. I've taken some really good photos. Hopefully they'll all turn out. I'm just doing a little bit of B-roll here just to show you guys the sort of storm surge that we've been having here. Now, I've been here for about an hour, so the tide's gone down a little bit. We've got less waves breaking over the jetty, but it's still, like, you can see in front of me here that they've got it fenced off. This jetty is very dangerous when we've got this sort of weather here. So now I use my Tokina 11-20, and then right at the end here, when I was actually shooting down the jetty here, I actually swapped over and I used my Nikon 18-140 just to get a little bit closer towards the end of the jetty where a lot of the waves were breaking over. So I took some slow-mo photos as well as actually photos around 1/800th of a second, like freeze frame and all that. I still might take a couple of photos because you can still see, like in the video, if I actually zoom in, you can actually see where these huts are. This is where the water is just crashing over. And this is why I actually swapped over to the Nikon 18-140 to actually get in close to the huts here, and also so I wouldn't see this big light pole that's in front of me. Hope you guys can actually see how rough this weather is. Now I'm actually going to take a few more photos with my camera here. I'll tilt it down a little bit just so we don't see as much sky, but we actually see more of the surf, eh? Look at that. So this is about what I'm taking a photo at the moment. I'm on manual mode and I've set my aperture to f8 and my shutter speed to 1/500th of a second. That looks really nice. Now when I'm going to do this shot, because I don't have filters on, I'm really limited to the slow motion of it. So I'm going to go up, I'm really pushing it here. I'm going up to f18. My ISO, I'm going to bring it down to ISO 50. And it's telling me here my lowest shutter speed is 1/40th of a second. That's really smoothed it out. Now I'm still a little bit underexposed, so I can actually go 1/25th of a second. So that's really slowed it down a bit. So I've actually just moved, and now I'm actually behind the jetty, but facing the seashore here. And you can see how strong this wind still is here. The waves are crashing over the rock wall here. We'll see if we can actually get some nice photos. Now it's just a matter of waiting for some waves to crash over. You can see how strong the storm surge still is here. Now the reason I didn't come in this spot before was that the waves were so high that the waves were just crashing right over the path here, and it would have been detrimental to my camera to be here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to zoom in, and the house that's actually a little bit further up here, I'll zoom in to show you guys where I'm going. So right in the middle, that little rock wall that's hanging out with that tree, this is where I'm actually zoomed in, because there's waves crashing all around that house there. So try and get some nice photos. Well, I hope these photos turn out, because that looks so good. What I'm going to do now is I'll actually reduce my shutter speed to 1/40th. I'll bring the ISO down to L1, which is ISO 50, and it's saying I should be shooting at f20. Okay, so I can actually go down even more, 1/25th of a second. That's cool. We'll just come down a little bit, just so we have the two rock walls in play here. I just want a couple of slow-mo of the waves just crashing here. Oh, that looks so nice on the back of the LCD here. Wow, very slow-mo. So So you can see how strong this swell is. And this is what I was saying, like I'm actually taking 2 sets of images. Very fast shutter speed to get that frozen in time look, and also a couple of very slow shutter speeds so we get movement. So you can actually show people, well, this is how high the spray went, and then when with the slow motion, it actually just shows the power of it. My camera around, and this is about the frame that I'm actually getting on my camera. And my settings are ISO 100, f8, 1/400th of a second. Wow, that just looks so nice. I really like how this bench here is just framing the bottom corner here. We've got a bit of the jetty. So this is about what I'm framing to take. Wow, this is so nice. Now, before I move from this spot, what I'm going to do is take a very slow-mo photo. So we're back to ISO 50. We'll drop it down to 1/25th of a second, and our aperture is f20. Well, that's nice. Just got a bit of water crashing over the rock wall in front of me here. Now I've just turned the camera around and look at that beautiful sky. Now I've got to reset the camera here. I'm back to ISO 100. I'll come down to f8, and I'm looking on my metering. It says f8 1/640th of a second. That's pretty good. Look at this scene in front of us here. I'll actually move a little bit so we don't get the electricity pole here. But this is about the scene that I'm photographing. And my settings are ISO 100, f8, 1/200th of a second. That looks really nice. Now some people, they don't see this weather often, but we do get it here. This is why these trees are so bent. So just for fun, we're on LO1, which is ISO 50, f16. Actually, we'll take it up to f22, eh? And we're at 1/10th of a second. Well, that is so different. Okay, so for our last photo, I'm actually going to back off into the last part of the park here, right at the end, just so we can actually see the jetty, hey? Okay, so this is the sort of framing that I've got at the moment. Now there's a lot of distortion here. That looks pretty good. So now we're going to move from this area, and we'll just take one more just on the edge here. And I think that'll be enough for today. The wind certainly dropped down now. So I can actually come right up to the edge here. I'll actually back out a little bit more because see that railing there? That actually looks really cool. There. We'll get it framed up. Now this is going to look a really nice shot. I'll just look on the camera how it's framed. That just looks so nice. So you can see the clouds up here. They're just above the jetty, and it's funny because they're just tapering off to the end of the jetty. And on the photo here, that just looks so really nice. I'm really happy with this one. So it's just after 11:30. I've been here for 2 hours. I got some nice video of this storm surge. As you can see now, the wind's died down, the tide's going down, so there's a lot less swell around. I got some nice video, nice photos as you saw on during the video, and you also saw there's 2 different types of images. We've got some very fast shutter speeds, very slow shutter speeds, and you've just got to try different things when you're out here. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. This is Charles for Charles in Photography. Bye for now.